Howdy y'all! Today we're doing a follow-up because we didn't get very far last time because, well, it got late in the afternoon and all of a sudden we were dealing with an engine that was far from stock, and we kind of left you guys hanging. Give you a little backstory here. So last week's video was intended to be how-to on just checking out a used engine. We had absolutely no idea what was inside of this thing. Now the backstory is, I'm the Facebook seller. I bought this engine over 10 years ago from an eBay auction from our local LKQ salvage yard. It was a pretty good deal at the time. It had a overdrive transmission attached to it. I was planning on using this as spare parts, spare engine and spare transmission for the daily driver I had at the time, which was a 2000 Durango with a 5.9 in it. And I was using it for hauling trucks around, and we jokingly called it the 1-ton Durango. So I felt like it's a good idea to have some spare parts if you can get them cheap. So literally, this thing, a 408 stroker, has been sitting in my shop for 10 years. And I had no idea. Honestly, if I did, I wouldn't have sold it to Duddy. At this point, I really don't have a use for it. You know, it's going to take a good amount of work, I think, to sort this thing out. And so I figured, hey, let someone else use it that's actually going to do something with it, because I might just have it sitting in the back of the shop for another 10 years. So we're going to start today with a little bit deeper inspection. We need to check if this thing has an aftermarket camshaft or not. We are going to look to see if there's any signs of porting on the cylinder heads or just anything we missed. Check for damages. We need to pull all the main caps, all the rod caps, pull everything apart. Because we unfortunately believe this engine probably was abused. And well, that's why it ended up in the wrecking yard with the engine pulled out of it, I'm pretty sure. Previous owner wrapped it around a tree with too much nitrous. So let's get started here. Are these bolts actually like started?
Really loose. I think I just set them in the holes. Yeah, you don't need a socket.
Let's just get a ball.
Well, everyone knows I'm good at disassembly.
Yeah.
But they also know you should be doing the reassembly. Oh.
Yep, bag and tag.
Okay, I need a bat.
As we get all this, the lifters pulled, we can inspect the rollers.
Except I don't know what I'm looking at.
Looks to be in good condition. Good condition. Good condition. Nice and oily. The cam looks really good, actually.
I might have to save that one.
Yep.
I don't know what we're going to use a stock cam for, but...
Oh, you know. We've got some more junkyard engines kicking around that are definitely in worse shape than this one.
You're not wrong.
Might be a good candidate of parts for the old Dart Sport out there.
Oh, good call.
Not Duddies Dart.
Not Duddies Dart, yes.
Get out of there. Get under the snap ring and pop it up probably. Yeah. There we go.
So far, they're looking pretty good.
So far, so good.
I say that not knowing what they're supposed to look like, but I'll just keep agreeing with what you say.
Nice thing about roller lifters that and they can be reused as long as they're not ticking or have torn up rollers. So far all of them are coming out nice and smooth. Looks like all the lifter bores are nice and clean. Yeah, that is 16 mint condition lifters. Let's get this timing cover off and get the cam out. That one was real tight.
Oh, I didn't realize I had a hex head on it. Want me to hit it again?
Yeah, if it'll come, it might. Water pump bolts, check.
Never fails. Not even in your videos can I protect myself.
So it begins.
So it begins.
Yep, get that pulley off, and I will procure the puller.
Wait, you mean to tell me that there's an actual tool, a proper tool to remove a harmonic balancer?
Right. There indeed there is.
Does Jeremy at Bad Tree Production know this?
Well, I did make a dig at him last time. Hopefully he's got the memo by now.
Oh, that one had 2 washers on it.
Almost like someone's been there before, huh?
Oh, this one has 2 washers on it too. You know what I need to do? I need to find out if all these bolts are the same length. Yeah, they're all...
Jeez. Oh, thank goodness.
Good threads?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So, the last time I took apart an engine a few months ago that was supposedly a good engine, someone had used that bolt to install the harmonic balancer. And let's just put it like this. That crankshaft was trashed. Oh, what size are you? The size we don't have. Probably 3/4. Come on, wrench.
Oh, nope, got one more. Missed another one. Stupid pocket. Ah.
Okay, let's get timing cover off here. There's the transmission line holder on it still. That's kind of a nice bonus. Alright, I think that's about it. Might need some persuasion here. All the pookie. Fairly good condition double roller timing set even. That's probably reusable. That's good. And hey, timing cover's even nice and clean inside, so one less thing to clean. There we go. Alright. Alright, cam retainer plate. Nope. Well, one nice thing, guys, is we haven't really found any poor craftsmanship here. Everything seems to be pretty tight and not torn up. Well, that's always a good thing. Okay, guys, cam removal tool. Let's thread that into the front of the cam here. Make sure it's snug. Get our dirty rag out of there. That's nice. Oh, we missed a step though. We gotta get our oil pump drive out. The oil pump drive removal tool. Oh, well, okay. It just wants to push the cam out. There we go. Gotta go the right way. There we go. And now let's just carefully get this thing going here. When you're doing this, guys, very slowly, and take your time so you don't nick your cam bearings. Oh, come on, baby. Okie dokie, we got it. Let's see if we've got some numbers. We do have some numbers here. 3050B, 3051B, Q7483. Let's see if we've got a Chrysler number on here. Anything to show what we got. Don't really see much. Now we can take a dial caliper and measure the base circle down here and how much lift. Okay, guys, we've done a little measuring with our calipers here. This is basically kind of what we came up with. Again, these are kind of rough numbers, but looking at comparing the numbers that we found on the back of the camshaft and what we've measured here, we're pretty sure this is a older KRC cam. Was pretty popular. The Dakota and Durango guys back in the day. 210X cam probably. Looks like it was like a 220 duration, and with the 1.6 rocker arm ratio that the Magnums have, comes in at 512 lift. So definitely not stock and in great shape. So that's a good score for Duddy. We could possibly reuse that. It's more of a mild, it's high lift, but fairly mild on the duration side of things. And well, he wants the potato sound, so we'll evaluate that, but definitely not stock. Another finding here is that it looks like definitely the heads had stock valve springs in them. They're just a single beehive style spring that the Dodges used. So very interesting. We'll kind of get this up to the camera so you guys can see it a little better. 3050B, 3051B, those are your lobes. H110 should be on a 110 intake center line, and 09 on the bottom. I would assume that might date this as being ground in 2009. That's cool. It's got a cam. They didn't put valve springs in it for some reason or another, and obviously it ran. So let's move on to getting the rest of the short block tore down and see what we've got in there. Okay, guys, we gotta get these rods out and see if these pistons are still worth anything. Oh, good news is they were tight. They're stuck good. Get off of there. Okay, rod cap numero uno. Actually, no, this is number 2. We've got a couple of dots there from assembly purposes. Carefully tap this out without nicking the crankshaft journals. Alright, it's coming.
Come on. Got there. Here it comes. One ring.
Okay. Come on.
Ah!
Carefully. Rings are intact on that one.
Yep. Oh, I see something right there. Do you see that?
What do we got? Oh. Yeah, we've got a broken spot there. That ain't good. Well, that piston's trash. Okay guys, pistons are out. We've got number 2 here. We've got some issues with it. As you can see, we've got a pretty sizable crack right there, missing material. Definitely has some sidewall scuffing too, but due to that little guy right there, that piston is junk. Moving on, we have 2 more that are in similar conditions. This one is number 3, and as you can see there, again, same issue. That piston is broken. Junk. And the worst of all here is number 7. Again, same situation. It is broken right there. Get the camera on it right. And more concerning is that when you look at it, and I don't know if you're going to really be able to see this on camera, but right here, that piston is not round on top. It looks like that one hit the ground. Definitely not round. So, also junk. So, Duddy's going to need some pistons. So, you know, pray for him and his armadillos. Okay guys, ready to pull the crankshaft. That's the last step here. And let's alright, last one should be pretty easy. We already had that one out last week. Bearing's looking good so far. I have some torn up pistons, but let's hope that, oh, that one's going to be your thrust bearing, and it's going to require a little bit of persuasion. And same thing. Duddy, you got lucky. Crankshaft looks mint. You're going to need a set of pistons though, bud. Straight up.
Yep.
Alright. One forged crank. Let's make sure our sizing is on it since we've got it out. Standard. Just like the rods, so
Fantastic.
that's good. The only other issues we found here, guys, is we do have some scoring on a couple of cylinders. Like I was saying last week, we do have a little water stain mark on one cylinder. It is going to need a set of pistons. Those, you know, one was drop tested. The other 2 that were bad have pretty nasty cracks in them, which honestly looks like piss poor quality control machining on Ross piston part. Those little parts that we were showing that are cracked, I mean, you could cut yourself on them, they're so thin. And some of the pistons aren't like that. So clearly very, very poor machining there. Very unfortunate, because that's about an $800 set of pistons. So Duddies got to make some decisions on that. But bottom end wise, it's looking great. Cam bearings look pretty good to me. All the rod bearings are pretty clean. We'll probably replace the rod bearings. They do have just a little bit of, you know, minor wear. It's not down to the copper yet or grooved or anything, so not really too worried about that. Now just clean everything up here real good. Bag and tag it. Give old Duddy a like and a subscribe. He's gonna need to get that YouTube money so he can afford to rebuild this thing. Alright y'all, that does it for today. We have made a sufficient disaster in my shop. We'll recap quickly what we found. 4340 forged crank from Eagle. This is an externally balanced model. Journals are 100% perfect. Our Eagle H-beam forged rods, also in very, very nice condition. The piston pin bushings are great. Can't say so much for the pistons that were attached to them. As you all saw, they are basically junk. And if y'all need a new ashtray, hit Duddy up. He's got 8 of them. Now, we did find some scoring in the cylinders. They will have to be honed, but I don't think it's bad enough to warrant a bore or anything. It's already at 30 over, and you know, we're just going to send it. So, you know, that's about it on the table here. Our camshaft ended up being an aftermarket replacement, KRC 210-220 512 valve lift with the 1.6 rockers that this engine would have in it. So, we got a bunch of good parts. All the nuts and bolts are in great shape. All we got to do is clean this up and make a big long list of parts to order. So, yeah. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. We'll see you next time.